Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening. Uh, yeah, just a second, please. Let me just put in the PowerPoint and then I'll just get back to you again. One second. Welcome, friends. Good evening. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. Thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button and share it with your friends and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. So let's start with the news. Let me just bring the PowerPoint as well. Yes. No national lockdown, says NCP's Nawab Malik. He then takes a dig at Prime Minister. NCP's chief spokesperson and Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik said people were scared that there could be another lockdown. A day after Prime Minister Modi held interactions with chief ministers over the coronavirus situation, the NCP on Friday took a dig at him, saying it was good that a lockdown was not announced this time, unlike in the past when it was imposed without taking people into confidence and without any consideration. Speaking about a number of BJP leaders quitting the party in Uttar Pradesh ahead of the assembly elections there, the NCP said that the Saffron Party's 5 long year rule of arrogance in that state was one of the reasons responsible for it. On Thursday, Prime Minister Modi held a virtual interaction with the chief ministers over the coronavirus situation in the country amid a surge in the infection cases due to its Omicron variant. Talking about it, NCP's chief spokesperson and Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik said people were scared that there could be another round of lockdown. But it is a good thing that in his interaction with chief ministers, Prime Minister asked the states to take decisions based on the situation prevailing at the local level. When there was no COVID-19, a lockdown was announced without any consideration and without taking people into confidence. Now there are many cases of COVID-19, but people are taking precautions. It is good that a lockdown was not announced, he said. Targeting the BJP over several of its leaders giving their resignation in UP in the run up to the assembly elections, Nawab Malik said the exodus of state ministers and MLAs of BJP is not going to stop. The 5 year long rule of arrogance, the move of insulting others, spreading fear in villages, seems to be the reason behind BJP losing its leaders. I think the BJP will lose more leaders in the days. Coming days. These are clear indications of change in Uttar Pradesh and the BJP is losing the battle. This is what Nawab Malik had to say. Now, here, what I'd like to tell you, friends, is that Nawab Malik thinks that he's the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever he says, is what is important. But he doesn't realize that, see, if the very reason why Maharashtra is going down faster than anything is because of the way they rule, the Mahavikas Aghadi, and its rule. Okay, going back to the next piece of news, it's about, just a second, it's about Salman Khan. Salman Khan files a defamation suit against his Panvel farmhouse neighbor for derogatory remarks. Comments. Superstar Salman Khan had filed a defamation suit against Ketan Kakkar. I hope you remember, this is the same man who had come on our show. His neighbor at the Panvel farmhouse. The Daban Khan has accused his neighbor Ketan of defaming Salman in the media. On January 14th, Salman's legal team demanded all the abusive content against him on social networking sites be removed or blocked. Reports say that Ketan Kakkar is a resident of Malad, Mumbai, and owns land near Salman Khan's farmhouse in Panvel. As per Salman's advocate, his neighbor Ketan, in an interview with a YouTuber, defamed Salman Khan. Two other people, social media companies like Google, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, have been made parties in this case. According to an India Today, Salman Khan's team has demanded an injunction against directly or indirectly loading or uploading posts, reposts, retweeting, interviewing, hosting, printing, publishing, broadcasting, everything under the sun. Any other communication relating to defamatory material and or derogatory comments must be prohibited. Meanwhile, Ketan's advocates Abha Singh and Aditya Pratap have opposed the injunction and requested the court to give some time to present their side. Ketan's legal team said they received the case documents just a day before the hearing and did not get time to look into the entire matter. Lawyer Abha Singh also said that if Salman can wait a month to file the suit, then Ketan Kakkar should be given some time to give his reply. The court has granted time to Ketan's lawyers and adjourned the matter till January 21st. Friends, just give me a minute. There's something playing up here, so let me just have a look at. Just give me a few minutes. Yes. Meanwhile, in the Sushant Singh case, the late Sushant Singh Rajput's sister, Priyanka, says SSR could act in his own biopic with AI technology. Sushant's birth anniversary is on the 21st of January, and ahead of it, one of his sisters, Priyanka Singh, has made a promise to her late brother. Sushant's birth anniversary is on 21st, and ahead of it, Priyanka Singh has made a promise. She says that no film would be made on SSR until and unless investigation of his death is done and justice prevails. She took to Instagram and shared a note along with her and SSR's picture. She wrote, "I firmly believe that no movie on SSR should be made, at least not until justice is served. This is my promise to my brother, artist, genius, Sushant Singh Rajput. Secondly, who has the capability to enact SSR's handsome, innocent, and dynamic persona on screen? I wonder. Thirdly, it can only be illusory to expect that anybody from this insecure film industry has the courage and integrity to truthfully portray SSR's outrageously unique story, where he always followed his heart, left the most dominant and dynastic of production homes at the peak on his own terms." Priyanka also added that Sushant Singh Rajput's biopic could be made with his late brother featuring in it by using AI. "My brother wanted to do his own biopic if it is ever made, and with emergence of AI technology, There's no reason why this can't be a reality in the near future, the Post read further. Moving on to the next piece of news. Jacqueline Fernandes takes the spiritual route, reading books on forgiveness and healing, and made viral intimate pictures with Sukesh Chandrasekhar. It was just last week when a romantic picture of Jacqueline and Sukesh went viral. Jacqueline Fernandes has been struggling ever since her name appeared in the 200 crores money laundering case. Conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar even claimed that he was in relationship with a kick actress. Amidst it all, intimate pictures of the alleged couple have been going viral, and it's been really tough. Owing to all of this, the actress opted for a spiritual route. Now, this is what she's telling. It was just last week when a romantic picture of Jacqueline and Sukesh went viral, where she flaunts a love bite on her neck. The actress issued a public statement and requested the media to respect her privacy. She also mentioned going through a rough patch. As per a report to media, she's now practicing spirituality to keep her going amid the rough phase. She's always been spiritually inclined, and she believes in affirmations and journaling, she said. She's been doing it for quite some time. The actress is also doing a lot of meditation and breathing exercises. She's going through a tough time, and she's also reading a lot of Louis L. Hay's books, which talk about forgiveness and healing, said a source close to the development. Now, this is something very amusing because very consciously, these people, for a few gifts, they sell their souls. And this is what has happened in her case. And she and people like Shilpa, all of them are very similar in nature. And the moment they're caught red-handed, then they talk about going to spirituality or going to temples, like what we've been seeing of late. I think even Ajay Devgan has also been going to, I don't know whether it was Shabrimala, he's been also going to temples. See, what you should do instead of going and hitting your heads, at temple doors is to change the way, the industry is, and having compassion for others. Meanwhile, Yogi Adityanath is going to fight the UP polls from stronghold Gorakhpur, not Ayodhya. There was speculation earlier that Yogi, who has never stood in an assembly election before, would contest from either Ayodhya or Mathura. UP Chief Minister will contest next month's assembly election from Gorakhpur, urban seat, the BJP said on Saturday, as it released its first list of candidates. Yogi's deputy Keshav Prasad Maurya will contest from Siratu in Pragyaraj. Polling for the Gorakhpur urban seat, which is the Chief Minister's stronghold, and voted him to Lok Sabha for 5 straight terms till 2017, will be on March 3rd, the 6th and penultimate phase. The decision has been made after much deliberation. The final decision was taken by the top leadership of the party, said Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Yogi ji said, I'll contest from any seat party asks me to. This was the party's decision. Mr. Pradhan said, dismissing speculation, Yogi had been adamant about contesting from Gorakhpur. Sources had claimed that he was more inclined to fight from Gorakhpur instead of starting over in a new consistency. I'm thankful to PM Modi, BJP Chief JP Nadda, and the Central Parliamentary Committee for fielding me from Gorakhpur. BJP works on the model of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. BJP will form the stronghold with full majority, he said to the media. Minutes after the BJP announced Yogi Adityanath would contest from Gorakhpur, Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh took a swipe at him, saying, I like that the BJP has already sent him, the chief minister, to Gorakhpur. Yogi should stay there. There is no need for him to come from there. There was speculation earlier that the chief minister, who has never stood in an assembly election before, could contest from one of the 2 temple towns, Ayodhya or Mathura. This was after the BJP's core group expressed an interest in fielding Yogi from these seats, particularly after the eastern part of the state has been seen as drifting away from the party. Fielding Yogi from Ayodhya, sources had said, would have checked many of the boxes, as the ongoing construction of the Ram temple had boosted the seat's political profile for the ruling party. It would have allowed him to capitalize on and further build his brand as Hindutva icon. The temple town falls in the Awadh region where rivals Samajwadi Party have been traditionally strong. On Wednesday, sources told media that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who chaired a meeting of the BJP's Central Election Committee, would take the final call on Yogi's candidacy. The BJP, meanwhile, also faces internal dissidents in UP after 10 of its MLAs, including 3 ministers, walked out this week. Several, including influential OBC leaders and ex-ministers Dharam Singh Saini and Swami Prasad Maurya, have since joined rival Akhilesh Yadav's Samajwadi Party. Yeah. Moving on to the next piece of news. In UP, SP MLA Nahid Hassan. Let me just get out the visual for you. Yes. In UP, SP MLA Nahid Hassan is arrested under the Gangster Act a day after filing nomination from Kairana for assembly elections. Nahid Hassan has multiple criminal cases against him and is called the mastermind behind the Hindu exodus that was seen in the city. Samajwadi Party candidate for the Kairana constituency in UP and notorious gangster Nahid Hassan has been arrested by police on Saturday, 15 January 2022. This arrest has been made by the police in connection with the Gangster Act imposed on SP MLA Nahid Hassan about 11 months ago. Kairana police arrested him and amidst tight security presented him in court from where he was sent to a 14-day judicial custody. Recently, Samajwadi Party has declared its first list of candidates for the upcoming UP assembly elections, where the party had announced the name of Nahid Hassan for the Kairana seat. Nahid Hassan was the first to file the nomination in the first phase of UP assembly elections yesterday in Shamli Collectorate, and the very next day he's been arrested by the Kairana Kotwali police. After arresting him, police presented him in court and he was sent to 14-day judicial custody on court orders. He was presented in additional district sessions court in front of a fast-track court bench. At that time, police and PAC personnel were deployed in large numbers around the court. About 11 months ago, that is on 13th February 2021, Shamli police had imposed the Gangster Act on the two-time SP MLA from Kairana. Hassan has multiple criminal cases against him and is called the mastermind behind the Hindu exodus that was seen in the city. Friends, you'll remember that a lot of Hindus were forced to leave this place. In February 2021, the UP police imposed the Gangster Act on 40 people, including SP MLA Nahid Hassan and his mother, former MP Tabassum Hassan. Since then, Nahid Hassan was wanted in the case. There are many criminal cases registered against him. He's also called the mastermind of the exodus of Hindus from Kairana. Can you imagine? This is happening in India. There's also a case of fraud in land deals against Nahid Hassan. Nahid Hassan has been declared a fugitive by the special court in Shamli, while Nahid Hassan is the sitting MLA of SP from Kairana. His mother, Tabassum Hassan, has been an MP from Kairana. So here, friends, can you imagine if people like him come into power, what will they do in UP? And these are the kind of people that Akhilesh Yadav is fielding. Instead of getting qualified, educated people with a good background, these are the kind of goons they are projecting. Meanwhile, growth in imports from China slows down during the Modi government, while India's trade with other countries increase at a much higher rate. As India has become a major trade partner globally, its trade with all other countries has gone up substantially. Despite sour relations with China over aggression at the border, India's trade relations with the country continues on an upward trend. India has a trade deficit with China for a long time, which means India's imports far from China compared to exports across the Himalayas. According to reports, India-China trade grew to a record 125 billion in 2021, despite tensions in Ladakh and elsewhere. Of this bilateral trade, India's import from China was valued at 97.52 billion, while China's imports from India was 28.14 billion, resulting in a trade deficit of 69.38 billion for the year 2021. Reportedly, India's imports from China increased substantially at 46.2% due to increased imports of medical products and raw materials by the pharma industry due to COVID-19. While increasing trade deficit with China is concerning, given the Modi government's push for Made in India, it is not as bad as it seems, because in recent years, the overall trade deficit had shown signs of decline. And even though trade with China has gone up, the same with other countries have gone up at higher rates. For the period in January to November 2021, India's trade with Australia had gone by 102%, while it had gone up by only 44% for China. Trade with several other countries like South Africa, Belgium, UAE, Thailand, USA, Indonesia increased at a higher rate compared to China for the first 11 months of 2021. The growth rate for India's trade with China was even less than the growth of India's total international trade, which had gone up by 50% to reach over 290 billion. This shows that India has become a major trade partner globally. Its trade with all other countries has gone up substantially. And more importantly, trade with other countries have gone up at a much higher rate compared to the trade growth with China. As countries rally to join diplomatic boycott of Beijing Olympics, Pakistan PM Imran Khan is set to visit China for an opening ceremony. While Pakistan bills itself as a leader of the Islamic Ummah, it has been dismissive and on occasions questioned the authenticity of reports of human rights violation of the Uyghur Muslim minority in the Chinese province of Xinjiang. On Thursday, the Foreign Office of Pakistan informed that Prime Minister Imran Khan would attend the opening ceremony of 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, which is scheduled to take place on February 4th this year. The development comes amidst reports of a diplomatic snub to the mega event by Western countries such as US, UK, Australia, Canada, and Denmark. As per reports, Imran Khan will be going on a state visit to China between February 3 and 5, following an invitation by its premier, Xi Jinping. While briefing the media, Foreign Office spokesperson Asif Iftikhar Ahmed said that Pakistan and China will discuss the One Belt, One Road initiative and other matters. It must be mentioned that although athletes from across the world will participate in the event, the dignitaries of the Western countries will remain absent. China has been facing fierce criticism from Human Rights Watch over the atrocities committed against the Uyghur Muslims. HRW Executive Director Kenneth Roth pointed out that the communist regime wanted to gloss over its horrible record in upholding human rights by organizing the Winter Olympics. In December last year, the Pakistani Foreign Office extended support to China over the hosting of the Winter Olympics. In a statement, it said, Pakistan opposes any form of politicization of sports and hopes that all nations would come together in Beijing and afford their athletes the opportunity to compete against the best and showcase their skills. Now, in a very crass comment made by Jharkhand Congress MLA Irfan Ansari, who makes a sexist jibe, promises to make roads smoother than the cheeks of Kangana Ranaut. I assure you that the roads of Jamtara will be smoother than the cheeks of film actress Kangana Ranaut, said the Congress MLA in a self-made video posted on January 14th. Now, see, friends, this is a very standard practice that Congress has been doing over the years. It started with Hema Malini's cheeks, and now it's moved on to Kangana Ranaut. On Friday, January 14th, Jharkhand Congress MLA Dr. Irfan Ansari released a video where he has vowed to make the roads of his assembly constituency Jamtara smoother than the cheeks of Bollywood actress Kangana. I assure you that the roads of Jamtara will be smoother than the cheeks of film actress Kangana. Construction of 14 world-class roads will begin soon, the Congress leader said. He directed the sexist giant at the Manikarnika's actress while boasting about constructing 14 world-class roads in his constituency. The Congress MLA further claimed that such roads would never have been developed under the former government of BJP leader Raghubar Das in Jharkhand. He went on to say that people were suffering from a range of diseases as a result of the dust, and that when his administration is formed, he plans to focus on developmental projects for the locals. Now I have got 14 roads approved in the Hemant Soren government. The roads have now gone for tender. Soon the construction work will start, he said. Interestingly, earlier this week, Irfan Ansari had quoted another controversy as he claimed that wearing a mask for a long time is detrimental to health. He said he is a person who touts his credentials as an MBBS doctor. And he said during the program that excessive and prolonged use of masks leads to inhalation of carbon dioxide. Masks should not be worn for long. I am saying as an MBBS doctor, and that there should not be prolonged mask usage. One should wear a mask in crowds. There is no need to panic during this third wave of COVID-19. The symptoms will get cured in 5-6 days, he said. Now the Congress MLA has once again sparked a new round of controversy by comparing the roads in his assembly to the cheeks of actress Kangana. Now, see, if the same thing, friends, had been quoted by Nitin Gadkari, then he would have had to cover the cheeks of all of Bollywood actresses, because that's the number of roads that he's constructed all over India. Now, in a very sad case in Kerala, acquittal of Bishop Franco Mulakal has set a very bad example. The Kerala cop who investigated the case calls the verdict shocking. Former HC judge says miscarriage of justice. Former Karnataka HC judge Justice Michael Francis Saldana told Republic TV this is a miscarriage of justice and it's intolerable. Many people directly or indirectly linked to the case are not too pleased with the Kerala court's verdict to acquit Bishop Franco Mulakal of the Catholic Church in the nun rape case. The Kerala police officer who headed the investigation against the bishop called the decision of the Kottayam Additional Sessions Court shocking, ruling that the police probe built a watertight case against Bishop Franco Mulakal. Former Kottayam SP Hari Shankar called the verdict as extremely unfortunate. A teary-eyed sister Anupama, who spearheaded the protest against him, told media after the verdict, "We cannot believe the verdict. We will continue to fight until the day our fellow sisters get justice, even if it means we have to die. All the testimonies were in our favor, so we don't know what happened in court. We will definitely appeal in the higher court." Bishop Franco Mulakal of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Jalandhar was accused of raping a 44-year-old nun at a guest house in Kuravilangad in May 2014 and subsequent sexual exploitation afterwards. Further expressing disbelief at the Kottayam Additional Sessions Court verdict to set the former Jalandhar Bishop of the Catholic Church free from rape charge, former Karnataka HC Judge Justice Michael Francis told Republic TV, "This is a miscarriage of justice and it's intolerable." I'm absolutely shocked and horrified because I had the opportunity to look at this case and a good amount of evidence. And one of the reasons why I cannot accept this decision is because he had gone to the High Court during the investigation and asked to quash the complaint. The HC has said that there is absolutely no doubt about the evidence and charges against that he carried the matter to Supreme Court. The High Court has said, "As seen in the case and in my mind, that there was absolutely zero possibility for him to get acquitted. I think the High Court must intervene in the matter and re-examine the case. This is globally shocking," stated Michael Francis Saldana. The Kerala Court's 289-page verdict acquitting the bishop from rape charges. It may be noted that the court on Friday acquitted him of allegations of raping a nun in a convent, citing a variety of factors, including the victim's conflicting version of events at the prosecution's lack of evidence. This is a case in which the grain and the chaff are inextricably mixed up. It's impossible to separate the grain from the chaff. There are exaggerations and embellishments in the version of the victim. She has also made every attempt to hide certain facts. It is also evident that the victim was swayed under the influence of others who had other vested interest in the matter. The Kottayam Additional Sessions Judge Gopakumar had written in his 289-page order that was made available only by Friday night. The case against the bishop was described in the order as a matter of nuns infighting rivalry and group disputes. Look at how they have trivialized the whole thing, as well as a desire for power, status, and control over the congregation. This whole line reveals a sort of hypocrisy. I'll just repeat the same thing. The case against the bishop was described in the order as a matter of nuns infighting, rivalry, and group disputes, as well as a desire for power, status, and control over the congregation. The same thing is what he is doing, and he's put it on the nuns. Now, Judge Gopakumar stated in the order, when it is not feasible to separate the truth from falsehood, when rain and chaff are inextricably mixed up, the only available course is to discard the evidence in toto. It's absolutely shocking. It further read, it is true that the hymen of the victim was found torn in her medical examination, but defense contends there was a complaint against the victim by her own cousin that she had indulged in sexual intercourse with her husband. Even if it is assumed that the complaint was a false complaint from the mere fact that the victim's hymen was found torn, penile penetration or forceful sexual intercourse cannot be inferred. The court stated that the victim's statements were inconsistent and hence she cannot be classified as a sterling witness or a wholly reliable witness. In the said circumstance, the court is unable to place a reliance on the solitary testimony of the victim and to hold the accused guilty of the offences charged against him. The court said in its order acquitting Mulekal of the offences under various sections of the IPC. Now, the NCW asks the victim to approach the High Court. Expressing shock at the verdict, Rekha Sharma, the chairperson of the NCW, had also claimed that the victim must appeal to the High Court. The victim nun must go to the High Court and fight for justice. According to the reports, the police in 2018 had registered a case on the basis of a complaint filed by a nun against Bishop Franco Mulekal of Jalandhar Diocese. According to the complaint, the nun was raped several times by the bishop at Missionaries of Jesus convent between 2014 and 2016. It's a very shocking thing, and it shows that money can buy anything. And it's a very clear case, of the cheating of these nuns, and that the church has not stood with them. Moving on to another piece of news, assets worth rupees 410 crores of Mumbai Realty Group, actor-producer, attached by E.D. Joshi, who has acted in some Telugu and Hindi movies, is the son of JMG Group, promoter and businessman J.M. Joshi, who is into gutka and pan masala manufacturing and also into hospitality business. Flats and land worth a total of about rupees 410 crores of Mumbai-based realty group Omkar Realtors and that of a company belonging to actor-producer Sachin Joshi have been attached by the Enforcement Directorate under the anti-money laundering law. Joshi, who has acted in some Telugu and Hindi films, is the son of JMJ Group promoter and businessman J.M. Joshi, who is into gutka and pan masala manufacturing and hospitality business. Sachin Joshi has produced some movies too. A provisional order under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act has been issued to attach flats worth rupees 330 crores in Tower C of the sale building, namely Omkar 1973, Worli of Omkar Group, and an open land situated at Vikram, Pune, worth 80 crores of a company belonging to Sachin Joshi, ED said. It said the probe found that loan amount of 410 crores was fraudulently acquired by Surana Developers, Wadala LLP, a sister concern of Omkar Realtors and Developers, through falsely increased slum dwellers numbers and FSI, which is floor space index. Out of rupees 410 crores, an amount of rupees 330 crores was laundered into the sale building of Omkar Group, and an amount of 80 crores was laundered through Sachin Joshi and his Viking group of companies under the guise of services and investment. The ED has raised the ED has raided these entities in January last year and filed a charge sheet in March, namely the chairman of the group, Kamal Kishore Gupta, its managing director Babulal Verma, and Sachin Joshi and their companies. The three were arrested by ED last year, while Joshi has granted a 4-month temporary bail by the Supreme Court in September last year. The two others are in judicial custody. Now, in the UP election, actor model Archana Gautam, now Congress candidate, has a request. Now, she has been selected by none other than Priyanka Chopra. Now, this actor model, Archana Gautam, has urged the people to not merge her profession in the media industry with her political career after Congress fielded her from Hastinapur constituency for the upcoming Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections. Congress released its first list of 125 candidates for the Assembly elections, which included 50 women candidates as part of its Ladki Hoon, Lad Sakti Hoon. Means I'm a girl, I can fight campaign. Following the announcement, bikini pictures of beauty pageant winner Archana Gautam, who joined Congress in November 2021, went viral on social media. I represented India in Miss Bikini 2018. I was Miss Uttar Pradesh 2014 and Miss Cosmo World 2018. I request people to not merge my profession in the media industry with my political career, she told media. Gautam said that her main focus will be on the development work of Hastinapur and the promotion of tourism if she gets elected to the assembly. Hastinapur has a historical significance that dates back to the Mahabharata time. According to the Sanskrit epic, Hastinapur was the capital of Pandavas during the time of the Mahabharata. So for her, what she says is that Hastinapur is a tourist place. There are lots of ancient temples, but people are not able to come here because of the connectivity. The first thing as an MLA I'll do is that I'll build a bus stand and railway station for connectivity. Because when tourism will increase, then people will get employment. It's just a professional hazard. Because of the noise of our social media, because of the prevalence that it has in our lives, I think it seems a lot larger than it is. I think that we give it a lot more credence in real life, and I don't think it needs that, she added. To put an end to all the rumors about their split in November, now we're moving on to the case of Priyanka. But before I go to that, let me tell you, viewers, that women like Gautam and all these people who are now in the Samajwadi Party and all that, they promise the sun, moon, and the stars. But when they come to power, it's absolutely nothing. In fact, they drag you backwards to a stone age. Okay. Moving on to Priyanka. Priyanka had left a comment on one of Jonas's workouts saying that I just died in your arms. Now, the latest news is that she has been, she's dropped the surname, Nick Jonas's surname from her Instagram handle. She recalled the random Monday in November when she reverted to only her first and last name on Instagram. Global star, and now that she's a global star, Priyanka is finally opening up about the scrutiny that followed after she dropped her husband's last name from her Instagram handle. The 39-year-old star recalled the random Monday in November when she reverted to her first name, which immediately started speculation. But as she tells a fashion magazine, social media is far from being the be-all and end-all. She added that the experience served as a prime example of the microscope celebrities find themselves under in this age. It's a very vulnerable feeling, actually, that if I post a picture, everything that's behind me in that picture is going to be zoomed in and people are going to speculate. It's just a professional hazard. Because of the noise of our social media, because of the prevalence it has on our lives, I think it seems a lot larger than it is. I think that we give it a lot more credence in real life. I don't think it needs that. To put an end to all the rumors about their split, in November, she left a comment on Jonas's workout videos. I just died in your arms. She and Nick got married in a Christian and a Hindu ceremony in Jodhpur's Umaid Bhawan Palace on December 1st, and two in 2018. Now, here, friends, one thing you'll notice is that the kind of hypocrisy that exists in Bollywood. What she says or what Katrina Kaif or any of these actresses says cannot be taken on face value. You know exactly what happens in their lives. Meanwhile, Virat Kohli steps down as the Test captain of Indian cricket team. Everything has to come to a halt at some stage. And as for me, as Test captain of India, it's now. In an announcement on Saturday, star batsman Virat Kohli announced that he'll be stepping down as a Test captain for the team India. I've always believed in giving 120% in everything I do. And if I can't do that, I know it's not the right thing to do. Last year, he stepped down as the T20 captain, and then he was removed as the ODI leader as the selectors wanted a captain for a white ball format. So he wrote, "It's been 7 years of hard work, toil, and relentless perseverance every day to take the team in the right direction. I've done the job with absolute honesty. I left nothing out there. Everything has come to a halt at some stage. And for me, as a Test captain of India, it's now. There have been ups and downs along the journey, but never has there been a lack of effort or lack of belief. I've always believed in giving my 120% in everything I do. And if I can't do that, I know it's not the right thing to do. I have absolute clarity in my heart, and I cannot be dishonest to my team." Kohli's decision to leave the Test captaincy came a day after India lost the three-match Test series against South Africa on Friday. That's all the news for now, friends. Let me just take your comments as well. I'll also leave the line open in case you'd like to join. Vardhan Bhandari says, "This is the same man who bought Vijay Mallya's property." Yeah. Shobha reminds me that it's Priyanka Vadra. Yeah. Yes. Let me just add Shashi. Welcome, Shashi.
Hello, Meena ma'am. How are you?
Fine, fine.
Good, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So, with great interest, I was watching the news. So, I think, yeah,
Lot of
from
things
a,
happening. Yes.
yeah. So, the UP elections, yeah,
Yeah,
there is a
that's going to be the
conflict.
crucial. Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
see, from a BJP perspective, I think they do want to win the elections because if they win
Yeah.
UP this
But look
year.
at the kind of people that they're fielding. You know,
No,
Shashi.
means see, yeah. But see, what I was yeah hearing about that is, whoever have been moved to Samajwadi Party, they all have some not so popular impression among their constituencies as such.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so people like Swami Prasad Maurya, and yeah, apparently he has a son who also who has lost a couple of elections in the past.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he wanted to give the ticket and all that. So all of that kind of a backward has come. So I'm watching
Something
another
wrong with your
thing.
audio, Shashi? It's not
No,
very
is
clear.
it
Yeah. Can
is
you
it
just
is
check?
it okay? Okay.
Yeah. Now it seems
Is
okay.
it okay now?
Yeah, it's fine. Yes. But speak
Okay,
louder. Yeah, speak a little louder.
okay. Sure.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, means these people are not like yeah some big politicians who can pull the votes and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So that's the reason why BJP Yogi himself is sufficient to pull all the votes, get a majority. As such,
Yeah,
I would
also
say.
the fact, Shashi, that
Mhm.
Yogi has, he has so much to show. The kind of work that he has done, the roads and everything. He walks the talk. Whereas these people don't walk the talk. They just preach.
Very much.
And the moment they are on the seats, then they start looting.
Yeah. Even when within BJP, they were these dark horses, and five of them have left. So
Yes.
that's the thing. So yeah, I don't know what briefcases and all that also have been exchanged between Akhilesh and these people.
Yeah.
That also might be there actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So that Piyush Jain case, I don't know what's happening on that. They have been arrested, is what we know. But yeah, maybe if the crime is proved that okay, yeah, Samajwadi Party was also involved there,
Yeah.
then it becomes a bigger trouble during elections itself.
Yeah.
So for Samajwadi. So let's hope, but yeah, miss, I would still like to wait for the actual results to be announced
Yeah. Exactly.
on UP. And I hope that okay, BJP does come into power there because yeah, that is very crucial
Yeah.
for the
Because otherwise
2024
it's
elections.
just a downward trade.
Yeah. Because 2024 elections are very crucial from that perspective. If they come in UP this year, they will come surely come in 2024 is what because that
Yeah.
has been the trend almost all the time. If they win in UP, they will come to the center. That's how it works. So
Karthik
that is
comes out
why.
with an interesting statement. He says there's no need to make any biopic on SSR. Just giving
Mhm.
credence to his diaries would be enough. It was his life's work which needs to see the light of day. I agree with you, Karthik. Absolutely.
Very much, very much.
Yeah,
See, if even if a movie is made on SSR, I don't know who will watch it because we are boycotting Bollywood irrespective whether
exactly.
SSR story
Yeah,
is there or not. Because yeah,
yeah.
see, ultimately whoever is making money from that, they are all having some kind of a tie-up with the underworld, which yeah,
Yes,
we obviously don't want.
yeah.
So if they want to waste their money, well and good. That is why I wonder why so many Khans are still shooting for movies. Heroes half their age or even lesser than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's a waste of money. At least that money can be used for something more useful rather than yeah these old yeah I don't know what heroes like
Karthik
Akshay
has
Kumar.
come with another interesting comment as well.
Yeah.
Jackie and spirituality. Does she mean spirit in whiskey or rum?
I don't
Absolutely,
know.
Karthik. Suddenly,
No.
from heavy materialism to spirituality is a little bit difficult for us to take.
Yeah. So last year there was some news about Jacqueline in June that she bought a 175 crore bungalow.
Yes, yes. That is what
What
made her.
we
That is what put her into problem because ED, started looking at her closely.
yeah, and Sukesh was arrested in August only. So
Yes.
yeah, highly probable that he was the one who helped her with the money there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Yeah. So yeah,
And
she's
Anuradha
asking for
says
private.
society and media has to relook whom we may call celebrities. This ecosystem of mediocrity at best has to be outed. Yes.
Yes, I think yeah, that's absolutely a very valid point. Actually, we should give more priority to sports, not cricket,
Yeah.
but other sports, which means those sportsmen actually till the time they are in that field, they will be able to make a livelihood. But after that,
Yes.
the career is over in maybe mid 30s or their late 30s, then
Yeah.
yeah, they have to resort to begging and doing coolie work and all that. So
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
athletes who participated in the 82 Olympic Asiad actually, today they are nowhere to be seen actually.
Yeah.
So this, at least they should be able to this. Otherwise, I will never see so many people get into more and more of athletics or javelin throws or high jump and all that.
Yeah.
So that's my take. And yeah, means I don't know why hockey and other such games are not being propagated much.
Absolutely.
And today, when I read about Virat Kohli, only today I got to know that okay, he has lost the series itself. Otherwise, I was not following cricket also. So let us, yeah, this, I think we should start ignoring them.
Yeah.
Is what I would say
Exactly.
because yeah, see, he's even if he ignoring, he will have sufficient money for the rest of his life and for I don't
Yeah.
know for how many more generations also.
Yeah.
So let us not look at them at all. Is what yeah I would say. So
Karthik
that's
is
the thing.
saying Swami
Mm,
Prasad Maurya says Yogi did
yeah.
nothing for Dalits in these 5 years. If Maurya really cared, he should have resigned much earlier. Why now? He resigned for his own personal reasons. Very brilliantly captured.
Karthik has said the right thing. His son
Yes.
was also not given, or maybe BJP asked him whether his son should be given a ticket or not because he has lost the last two times.
Mm.
So what is the point in giving a ticket also? So now
Yeah.
they are both joined the Samajwadi Party.
Yeah. I think
So
it's a way of vacuum cleaning Yogi's party. All these people go. It's
yeah,
actually good.
true. And then you had talked about the gangster act being implemented,
Yes.
and
Yes.
one of the MLAs was arrested. So I was very
Yes.
surprised by that because I thought you would have put everybody behind bars. No, but anyways.
One was left.
Anyways, yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, Hindu exodus in UP. Oh my God, that is a bigger crime, I would say. Odisha is another state where they were supposedly, yeah, it belongs to the Salman lineage, right?
Yeah.
So Ram, Lord Ram, and even Lord Krishna were born in UP. So
Your audio,
it's our
Shashi, is
Hindu
not clear.
birthright, I would say. We should see in that way.
Your
Am I
audio is
audible?
not clear. Yeah, now you're audible. Yes, you're
Hello.
audible now. Yeah, you're audible.
Sorry, I think I am facing disturbances. So,
Some
anyways,
sort of problem.
okay. So, anyways, so I think yeah, that's all I have to say, Ninaji. I would
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
take your leave because
Thank
I
you. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Yeah. Karthik says, I know there are many Arnab fans here, but I'll say this openly. Arnab takes up issues where he has a chance of being in the limelight and has a benefit. He doesn't care for SSR or others. This is my feeling. Now, here, Karthik, I just want to add to your point. The fact is that now they have started also promoting Bollywood and something, silly things, like Ankita Lokhande, dressing up for this Shankranti, that becomes news. So I think it's going another way, Karthik. What you said is absolutely true. Yes, but it's because of a case file. No, I don't think that's. There are other things also that can be done. Yes, many Bollywood production houses filed case against. Yeah, yes, true to some extent, Karthik. Karthik, very true. I get miffed with him, Arnab Goswami, when his channel started playing ads of Natwarla instead of exposing. It's true. See, this is how, Chandrika, this is how Arvind Kejriwal has bought all the media. And then what happens is, with this, he starts blackmailing them and saying that, see, whenever he gives a press conference, you better show it. Just like your flashing prime minister's speeches, it's very important that they show his speeches. How is he important? What has he done for Delhi? Absolutely nothing. Now, even Vibor is saying that SSR doesn't. That's a joke. He'll come today, he'll come tomorrow. Bardhan, I don't understand diplomatic boycott. Either they should fully, yes. All this half measure is stupid. Mickey, I agree with you. Anab has shown this Karthik. Karthik, many years back, someone even commented that the roads of the estate are as bad as scars on Om Puri's face. Om Puri took it in a lighter vein. Yeah, bless his soul. He's not alive now. Chandrika, there is no news channel exposing Kejriwal. So sad that this crook will fool the Punjab public win the elections there, making false promises. Here also, Chandrika, another person who's fooling everybody is Sood, Sonu Sood. And now he's brought his sister also into it. You can imagine the kind of scams they're going to get into now. Rochelle, good evening, Rochelle. Thank you for joining. Chandrika, Republic TV is a company, and Arnab needs money to run it, and he needs ads for that. At the end of the day, he's just a businessman and nothing else. This man only shows the same dialogue, such as actress's cheek. I want to tell him, अबे CD के जमाने में कैसेट बजाना छोड़ दे. Shobha, yes. Indian judiciary, yes. It seems a very sad situation. Martin says, I wish there were right wing ad companies supporting right wing media. Yes, I really wish that would happen, Martin. A lot of us could go way much ahead if we had the right kind of support, but we don't have it. Karthik, Chandrika, when Akalis were in power, they did nothing for Punjab. Hence, there was a strong and incumbency before Congress's win. Now the scene is open, and I'm not sure who will win majority there. Rochelle, just pointless talking about these Catholic priests. We need justice, yes. Thank you, Martin, always for standing with a candid Meena. Karthik ji, I've heard prediction of a coalition government of Congress and our party coming up in power in Punjab, unfortunately. Shame on the court, he looks creepy. True, Republic is a company and Arnab needs money through ads. That if that happens, then it'll take Punjab to dark ages. And don't be surprised if the borders become highly compromised. Don't forget, Muffler Wala will do anything for money. So now you have to tell me, Karthik, who's who's better, he or Jacqueline Fernandes? Yeah, Savitri says, why no Catholic organization has come to support her? If otherwise, they'll come to attack other religions. By the way, who is Natwarlal? 107 watching, 56 likes. Hit the button. Yes, friends, if you like the session, please press the button so that it not only helps us, as we do as much as possible to bring you the best news in this video. Welcome, sharing. Good question, Savitri. Nuns are sex slaves and have to serve the bishop. Now, see, the best thing, Shilpa, is for them to do Ghar Vapsi, come back to Hinduism, or they can select other vocations because it seems the Pope is not going to support them or give them any consolation. It's very obvious. Bardhan, I don't understand. If you can't keep it under your pants, why would you even want to be a bishop? Then they become the easiest targets, isn't it, Bardhan? Because see, they are in captivity, so it would be easy for them. Vanakkam, his acting was horrible. Yamini, who's you? You should mention that. This is the same man who bought Vijay Mallya's property, yes. Priyanka Vada, yes. They have absolutely no scruples. Welcome, Atira. Wedding is a fashion for these, yes. Good evening, Gurbinder. Celibacy is imposed on these ordained priests and nuns, and celibacy is not everybody's cup of tea. And self control becomes near impossible, leading to indulgences. Here, Karthik, let me tell you, the most number of cases are happening in Kerala, and many of them, are shocking. Many of them do not come out, where nuns are actually buried after such acts. So many of these cases don't come out. Franco even says Jesus entered his body and told him to do so. What a joke. He's insulting his own religion. Yes, that's true, Karthik. What an excuse. Vinaya, Meena ma'am, when the Indian brands know the reality about these boycott actors, but still they're given to advertise their products, I don't understand why. See, I think they give them the option that you can select, for example, Sara Ali. I find Sara Ali so, see, usually actresses need to look beautiful, but Sara Ali looks so strange in her ads, especially the one on Healthify, I think, with, I think she needs to get her teeth, realigned because she does not look like a beauty in any of these, if that's the career that she's pursuing. Welcome, Janet. Chandrika, why don't the placard feminists come out in support of the Kerala nuns? No, because they don't see that doesn't give them money or mileage. Whenever they take out the placards, remember they're paid heftily for that in crores, and that's where they come out. Anuradha, wasn't Raj Baba's son Arya supposed to be doing a web series eerily similar to SSR's life? Okay. What plans for 21st, ma'am? You can suggest something, Shobha. All of you can come together. So we're talking about today's 15th. So put your ideas together for Sushant, and let's see what we can do, to make it important for the actor who we all love. Sunanda, least interested in cover-up stories about going the spiritual way. Yes. If you find Kushal Punjabi death news, Canadian Kumar said he'll make a movie on suicide. He worked with him in one movie. Okay. Interesting, Nanda. Savitri, so only money and money talks. Yes. Anuradha, Annap, TRP, maybe. Who knows? Yes, a lot of things in this, Anuradha, as you said. Very true. Mickey, yes, Meena, Republic has been doing this, and that's why I stopped watching it. See, Mickey and Anuradha, see, some of the things is that, see, how can you support someone like TMC, Mamata, So that's very strange. I know you have a channel there, but that doesn't mean you support a person who's acting like Hitler and getting people killed. Madam, if you have seen an interview of Arnab with Kangana, he acted as if he never knew Bollywood existed. Yes. Simranjit, I watch your channel for the truth. You're much better than Republic TV. Thank you, Ji. Simranjit, we are just a small channel. Whatever we do to our best. If you enjoy it, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you are a part of it as well. Hema, Kejriwal should not win Punjab. He will start his freebies there. He will be most dangerous if he comes in Punjab. That I also feel. It's very, very, especially because it's a border state. Nanda, defamation case without investigation. How can it be possible? Well said, Nanda. God bless. Are you filing your nomination? Why not? Give it a try. Uh, God bless. See, people like us don't fit into politics. Please understand that. When you get into politics, you have to sacrifice your principles. Okay, unless you're someone like Yogi ji, who has complete support of Prime Minister Modi. Otherwise, what happens is that, see, if you're truthful, you'll just get pushed around. You've seen so many people being pushed around. Look at a person like Manohar Parrikar. He was one of the best politicians we had in BJP. And see, in any post that he was put, whether he was in defense or wherever, he shone like a star. But these people don't get the limelight. The people who get limelight are the ones who do nothing, as far as I'm concerned. I know many of them there who, use the PR or news media to project what they do on a daily basis. Today I'm eating this food. Tomorrow I'm, cuddling my child. Day after is my daughter's wedding. We're not interested. What we're interested is in what you're doing for us. Now, if people like us get into this, I mean, you'll have to toe the line of these idiots, and you'll have to compromise. So these things don't suit us. God bless. Pooja rightly said, Kejriwal is the worst thing happened in Indian politics in recent times. And also, Pooja, the fact is that, see, he tried to come, saying that they're going to follow the path of truth. That's how they did all their dharnas. Look at how sly they are. Everything that he has done in his tenure is only to cheat the people of Delhi. And if the people of Delhi think that by getting things free, he's doing things for you, you're absolutely wrong. Savitri says, Kejriwal loves media. Every now and then he comes with some blah blah. A lot of the politicians are like this, Savitri, even in BJP. Some of them just want to be seen 24 hours on television. Sonu Sood says in TOI that South film producers are refusing villain roles for him because of his activities during COVID. What a joke. He is the biggest liar. Sudha, this country will not change. Judiciary, uh, media, all bought. Yes, very well said. Sudha, the change is happening slowly and steadily. Boycott Bollywood is a big success. That itself is a big achievement to begin with. It is in our hands. Karthik, what you said is so important because, I was just listening to a video where someone, a spiritual person, was saying that, see, just because others are not doing it, don't give up. When you're doing something good, continue to do it. Because, see, for example, now, if we have, for example, 120 people, 21 people watching us now, these 121 people are interested in going on the right path. They're interested in knowing news that is positive, and knowing the truth behind what's wrong. So that itself shows that there is a massive change. If this kind, if our channel has so many, if there are other good people, there are many also on YouTube who are doing it. So it means that our group is expanding, and all of you are making a difference. Everything that you say, the very reason I take time to read all your comments is because each comment is adding to the richness of what is happening, and which means that you all believe in the right thing. So please follow it. Don't get disturbed or depressed. We're all in the right path. And like Karthik said, this boycott Bollywood is immensely successful, and that's why Bollywood actors are left with nothing to do except go on exotic holidays sponsored by the cabal. Simranjit, I live in New York City, and the largest landowner in New York City is not a Wall Street bank, but it's the Catholic Church. Further, the largest landowner in India is also a church after India government. Very well said. Sudha, Karthik, I agree. Many still watch. Awareness should heighten. Yes. It takes time, persistence, and trust. Yes. The boycotting of Bollywood by hitting these pockets has shown them that their actions are not tolerated. Yes, Mickey. Thank you, Shobha. Arnab is an opportunist. Again, here, like others say, he is a businessman, an intelligent businessman. God save Punjab from Kejriwal. Yes, Pooja. All of you, please continue to boycott Bollywood. Let us bring all these members of the cabal on the road begging. Yes. I look better. Uh, Sudha, I'm sure you are a beauty. Karthik. The biggest joke of the day is that a biopic made on druggy Kapil Sharma. It's a shame that I was a big fan of his once. A very repulsive character. Minaji, if you stand, we will support you unconditionally. Thank you, Savitri. So sweet of you. And perhaps in an era where there is truth, and it would have been okay. But now I don't sort of trust anybody. Look at what is happening in the SSR case. I don't know. See, people who stood with Sushant in the beginning, they all abandoned him. You know, and why did they do it? They wanted mileage. And after that, what happened? Because they would have been paid off. They all retracted. Many people, I'm talking about journalists I know very closely, they also stopped reporting on SSR. Why did they do that? So Savitri, politics don't suit our brand of what we say. Yes. Karthik can be a good advisor. Yes, very, very, and not only that, he reads immensely, and which is very useful for all of us. Hema, yes, Kejriwal was promising when he was new. He's a total failure now. Like you said, Minaji, he's scary, and the way what he's doing in Delhi is appalling. Yes, Meenaji, karma is about doing what is right, according to Parama Dharma. Our Parama Dharma is to follow the path of truth. Here also, Karthik, one more thing that's very important is that, see, many a times we do good deeds, and we do not expect anything in return. You may be helping, your people who come and assist you at home or in your company. When you listen to them and you understand their dilemma, even if you do something small, there's that feeling of goodness within you which makes you want to do more, and then you don't expect anything from them. That's real karma. That's when things will come to you without you're expecting anything. Welcome, Karthik. I think everybody looks forward to your presence, and even one day if you're missing, people miss you. Yes. Welcome, Savitri. In 5 years' tenure, Yogi has done so much for the state. He's the only CM I admire. Yeah, also, the Assam Chief Minister, Mr. Sharma as well. He's also equally good. And now in Karnataka, Bombay is also doing very well. Sudha, thank you so much. Karthik, if we want justice for SSR and others, we all should become Rabia Khan ourselves. Yes, Rabia ji is our inspiration. We can add one more person, Karthik. It is Nidhi Kukreja, constantly on the job, and I'm also constantly communicating with her. Such a brave mother, and so inspiring. So I'm sure, Karthik, there are many more who are not getting the limelight, and who are not being exposed. But I'm sure there are a lot of people like Rabia Khan. Ninaji, we are part of truth because of you, your channel, your tireless efforts. Thanks. Thank you, Shobha, for being an important part of our channel, and the fact that, see, you enjoy what you see and you believe in it. Honest people don't want to join politics. Yes. See, for example, I was listening to Samir Wankade, speak yesterday in a channel, and I found him so, it looks as though he's so relieved, that he is no longer in NCP, because a lot of pressure was there, and I'm sure there were some moles in his organization, and now he's able to speak very freely. If you look at what he said yesterday, and he also said that he would come on our channel, so I'm hoping for that as well. So what he said is that he is doing a lot for to help parents fight drug addiction. So don't be, Vasanti. See, what happens is that a person who is honest is not only doing his work, but he's doing a lot more other things. Okay, a politician does only very few politicians are very good, as in Modi ji or Yogi ji. Most politicians, the moment they come into politics, the first thing they do is make money, either the hanky panky way, because see, when they get into politics, they'll have a small house or a small car. The moment they come into politics, their houses become bigger, and they buy more houses, buy more cars, and the houses will be full of and antiquities and artifacts which are very expensive. So please remember, these are all corrupt politicians, and they will never let an honest politician survive, unless, of course, the whole party is clean. Yes, the Nidhi Kukreja, unsung heroes, absolutely. I fully empathize with Samir, sir. Anyone in his place would have given up long back. Samir went through hell and remained unsung. Here also, Karthik, what I'd like to tell you and the viewers is that, when you pay toll, when you pass through different parts of India, I found a video which went viral where the tall officer, stopped a judge, or a part of the judiciary, and that man was trying to make a ruckus. And this man gave him so well. He said that it's because of you that the common man is suffering. And because, he told a whole lot of truth. And he said, why don't you just pay money? The poor person in the truck standing behind has traveled so many miles, and you should have seen the way they spoke. And I was wishing that this kind of a person would become a politician, because we want leaders like that who can, call a spade a spade. We have very highly educated people, Karthik, but the problem is that these good, honest, educated people are scared to touch politics, because politics becomes a cesspit where everything wrong is happening. Unless that image is cleaned, and unless we see a lot of people like Yogi ji or Sharma ji or Modi ji and Amit Shah, things are not going to change. Kalpana, you skipped my comments, but why? Do tell me which is your comment. If you want to post it again, I'll read it for you. Friends, yeah, thank you, Martin. If you want to help the people, you don't have to be a, yes, exactly, Vasanthi. Madam, please share the video of the person. Let us make it viral. Let me just see if I have the link, Karthik. I'll certainly do that. Chiranjeevi from Karnataka looks very yes, that's true. There are many individuals like that, Hema. So that's all the news for today, and thank you, friends, for joining me. On Monday, perhaps we'll have Mayur back with us. So I'm just checking with him. So let us see if he joins us. I'll take one more comment from Mickey. Samir is a great example for all society in standing for what is right and justice. Even though he was constantly hit by lies, he never stopped fighting. Yes, absolutely, Mickey. On that note, good night to all of you, and thank you always for joining me and posting your valuable comments. I'll see you on Monday. Good night.